Hey, good morning, everyone.
Morning.
Good morning.
Morning, Paul.
Good morning, Paul.
Good morning, Shoosters. Happy sales meeting day.
Yeah, one of our favorite days of the month.
Favorite day of the month. We've got some good stuff, as usual.
I know, yeah. It's going to be a packed meeting for sure.
And next month, even more exciting, though.
Yeah, in person.
In person.
Yay!
Yeah.
Yep. Can't wait to see everybody. It's going to be fun.
Yeah, it's going to be a lot of fun. So if you guys haven't marked your calendar, May 11th, Wednesday, we're going to be live in person at Smedra. We'll talk about that a little bit later on.
Yep. How we doing? Are we live? Facebook's working? Everything's working?
Yeah,
Still searching. I think we're a little delayed here.
Yeah.
Absolutely certain we're live before we go. How about you, Stacy? Are you seeing it on your side?
I am not seeing it quite yet. That delay always throws us for a little bit of a loop. It's about a 45-second to a minute on this end. So
Yeah. We'll give it a couple minutes. There we go. Now we're live. I see it now, just
Perfect.
to make sure.
Yep, I got it as well. Looks like we've got some viewers joining us this morning. Go ahead and say hello in the comments section. We'd love to give you a quick shout out. And then, yeah, let's talk about our quote for the day while everybody gets logged on.
Yeah, I like this one. I like the picture, too.
Yeah, the picture is really pretty. Good job, Paul.
Yeah, nice.
Ah,
You don't fear change, you fear the unknown. If you knew the future would be great, you'd welcome the change to get there. Well, the future is great. Proceed.
Yeah.
That's a good one. I like it.
I mean, what if you woke up every morning with that kind of a mindset?
I think you can.
I think you can.
You have to make it
very
work.
relatable.
Yeah. Just got to do it. Got to make it a habit.
Exactly.
The leap of faith, as they say.
Exactly.
Well, I'm going to give a couple of shout outs here. Good morning, Lori. Good morning, Irene. Good morning, Angela, Biba, Norvin, Jennifer, Doug, Vera, Vicky, Becky, Vicky with an I, D, and I'm getting some comments. Awesome quote. Good quote. So glad you guys like that.
Excellent. We're not going to let Amir in yet.
No,
we'll let him
no.
in a second.
Yeah.
If you're watching Amir, we'll let you in a second. Let's go to
welcome a few new agents.
welcome. Yeah, lots of new faces. So if you happen to be a new face and you're on Facebook right now,
or if this is your first meeting,
then say hello, reach out. But want to thank everyone who's referred these awesome agents. So we got Blessed that referred Valerie, and Vicky that referred Jordan, and Anna that referred Michelle. Thank you so much. We always appreciate that. And then we do have pictures so we can see who are all these new people.
yeah.
So we got Natalie, Kristen Schmidt. It's always fun getting people that have been in the business for a while and were with us some time ago and are back with us. So Kristen, it's great to see you back with us. And then we got Valeria and Whitney Knight. Kind of fun. Whitney Knight was an agent or is licensed in Utah with Equity and has moved to Colorado. So welcome, Whitney, staying with the Equity family. And then we got Vera Case and Jeff Anthony. So great group of people that have recently joined us. So welcome.
Yeah, keep those referrals coming. We really, really enjoy having these new agents.
Yeah. Do we want to let Amir in?
Yeah, there's a lot going on in the mortgage industry right now. So,
oh my gosh.
Yeah, we'll bring Amir on. That way he can give us an update. I'm sure he's going to talk a little bit about interest rates as well.
So yeah, as I hope most of you know, but some may not know, Own Home Loans, Amir and I own Home Loans. So it is our in-house lender. And again, I did this with Amir to open up a company just so that we could really provide amazing service and hear directly from you guys. And you know, if there are hiccups or something like that, you've got the phone number to the owners that can help make things happen. Not that we've needed that, because he has just done an amazing job. He probably doesn't hear us talking about him right now, but really, if you guys have used Own Home Loans or given us referral, I appreciate that.
Yeah, thank you
you
so
for your
much.
support. And then also please post here. I know many of you have already done it and said how wonderful of an experience you had, but please keep sharing the word because it really does help everyone when you have a good lender and you make a transaction go nice and smooth, that it benefits everyone. So anyway, we'll get Amir here.
Yeah, and while we bring Amir on, good morning to Mila, good morning Dominic, Constantina, Trish, Julie, Denise, Scott, Terry, Peggy, Diane. We've got all kinds of people joining us this morning. Glad
Amir,
to have you all.
I don't know if your ears were burning, Amir, but I was just
talking about
you, just saying you're just doing an amazing job. And yes, this is our in-house lender. So you might think, oh my gosh, it's all about them. Well, no, it really is about providing outstanding service to our agents and our clients, and that's why we did this. And that's our number one focus is, when we do an amazing job for our agents look great. So anyway.
Tell us what's going on
what's happening in the mortgage industry. There's a lot happening.
Thank you.
Yeah.
And I do have, it looks like you already gave me the screen share, so must be getting used to me here. Let's do this.
Yeah,
oh, no, it's just, or I can't share. Can I share?
Yep, there you go.
We got you now.
Give it a shot.
Okay, perfect. All right, let's go ahead and let's share this real quick.
You're getting all kinds of comments in the comment section, Amir. Amir is amazing to work with.
Awesome. That's great. Thank you, guys.
As you're pulling up your screen share.
Yes, let's do this screen here. And I will get rid of that bike in just a second. And let me know if you guys can see.
I had a Yeti. That's like mine. I think Karina rides a Yeti. I'm pretty sure she does.
I think so.
Good bike.
All right. Well, you should see a cartoon now, though. Can you see the...
Yes.
Yeah. So the big news really, and I'm Amir Razi, and thank you guys for the introduction. Obviously, On Home Loans is your in-house lender. But the big news in the mortgage industry right now is, of course, rising interest rates. And you probably see some of our posts on Facebook. They might get a little boring, but they are important because they do influence the housing market pretty significantly. And I have been getting different questions from clients, from agents about what's happening, why it's happening, how it's affecting people and things like that. So I just wanted to share a few quick talking points that you may be able to share with your clients as agents to kind of give them some information as to what's going on, because I do get questions from agents, so-and-so buyer asked me this question, or I have a question from a listing about rates because they have to buy another house and what's happening, but I don't know how to explain it. So I have a couple talking points here, and really just, I kind of want to put things into context for everybody. So let's just jump right in. First of all, what's happened? What is happening? Well, the quickest summary, the quickest way to explain this is that we have just experienced the fastest 3-month rise in mortgage rates since 1994. So we're talking the fastest rise in interest rates in about 30 years. So it's been a very significant change in the mortgage market. Why is this happening? Well, essentially the Fed, the Federal Reserve, is very quickly trying to curb inflation and kind of cool things down by increasing the cost of money. Now, there's several ways that the Fed increased the cost of money, and we're not going to kind of dig into all of those details because it gets kind of complicated. But aside from just raising the federal funds rate, which is probably what you hear about on the news, they're also doing things like not buying as many mortgage-backed securities. The mortgage-backed security is basically just a bond that controls interest rates or mortgage rates specifically. So, you know, if your client asks you why is this happening, well, basically it's the Fed. The Fed's doing this. They're trying to curb inflation, and they're trying to do it very quickly. I think it's pretty obvious to a lot of financial analysts that they didn't anticipate things as much as maybe they should have. So they're really trying to keep inflation in check by making some pretty rapid adjustments. Now, ultimately, how does this affect buyers? Well, how does this affect somebody trying to buy a house? Well, a housing payment, and we're taking, you know, things like kind of average taxes, insurance, and HOA costs into account here. Average housing payments are roughly about 20 to 25% higher now than they were at the beginning of the year.
That's substantial.
Just based on interest rates, or based on interest rates and appreciation?
This is just purely, great question, great question. This is purely based on interest rates. So we are taking that into account without a price increase. So this is purely...
Wait till we tell you the price increase in the last year. It's outstanding.
Right, exactly. So you guys can take that into account. But this is taking into account an equally priced home, which we know in most markets, you know, a house that was priced at, let's say, $500,000 January 1st, December 31st, whatever you want to call it, is probably more expensive now, right? Especially here in Colorado. So that is just the effect of increased interest rates. So it's a significant difference. And you kind of see a mixed bag of reactions from buyers. You know, for some buyers, that's created some urgency to quickly buy something before, you know, things get more expensive or rates go up or whatever the case may be. For some buyers, that's kind of taking them out of the equation entirely, depending on where they've been looking, what their price point was, and what their buying capacity is. And some people are just deciding to kind of sit out. So it's a little bit of a mixed bag that we're seeing. But yes, the average housing payments right now are about 20 to 25% higher. Things vary a little bit depending on the type of occupancy, the type of home, credit score, or what type of loan product. But roughly, you know, from a macro perspective, things are about 20 to 25% higher just based on interest rates. So it's a big difference. Now, there are some silver linings to this, and there are some positive messages that agents can share with their buyers. This isn't all necessarily doom and gloom. And I think one of the most important things is you really got to kind of take things into context. And I'm going to show you a couple of charts here in just a second, because yes, it is more expensive to, you know, buy right now. But we're also considering the fact that last year, the cost of money, especially in the mortgage space, was the cheapest it's ever been, like in history. So when you're comparing it to the lowest point ever, everything else is going to look more expensive. And I'm going to show you these charts in a little bit, but you know, I do hear some things now from agents that I wasn't hearing, you know, a couple months ago, where, you know, a house that may be priced high isn't getting as many showings. A house that may have been priced low, instead of getting more showings than they could actually do, or, you know, let's say instead of getting 20 offers, maybe now they're getting 10 or 12, or, you know, we're starting to see some effects here. Now, this isn't for all houses. I do hear agents tell me, oh, haven't seen any difference, but I talk to a lot of agents. So when I start to see some of them, and there's a little bit of a pattern there saying I'm seeing a little bit of softening demand, to me that indicates that we're starting to see these rates maybe, you know, take an effect on the market a little bit. Now, is it a big enough effect to compensate for the ultra low inventory? Well, that's a different question for another day, but ultimately rates should start to soften demand and maybe balance things out a little bit more than they are now. But let's talk about the historical context, because I think this is one of the most important messages for buyers. And when we look at interest rates over the past year, yes, they're going up pretty quickly. But the past year isn't great context for home buying because of the pandemic and because of all the things that happened. And if we start to stretch that out over 3 years, as we go to April 22 at the bottom of this chart, you can really see, that's the next slide. You can really kind of see how things have really started to spike up. But when you start looking over a longer timeline, this is 10 years. And especially when you start to look historically, you can really see that, these are just kind of normal-ish rates. And in fact, they're kind of on the lower side when we go back, to the 70s. And people used to buy houses at 4 and 5% interest rates, a few years ago. And they used to buy houses at even higher interest rates before that. And sometimes it's hard for buyers who have been shopping for a couple months to really take that into context, because their mortgage payment could have been lower a few months ago. But ultimately, there are still, so many benefits to buying a home that you got to just kind of take these things into context if you're going to be financing a house, so that, rates aren't that abnormal right now. They're abnormal compared to where they were 3 months ago, but this isn't necessarily anything new in the housing industry and the mortgage industry. So
no, it's a good
ultimately
thing.
that is
I think it's healthy. I mean, personally, it's healthy to have interest rates on money. You should have a return on loaning out money. I started my career 1989. Looking at this, that's 10% was the average.
Yeah.
and I got my first loan at 9.5 for my first home, and I was ecstatic because the average was 10, and I got for 9.5. And I was selling houses. 1989, 40 homes a year, all the way until 4%. So yeah, people will buy homes, but it's going to definitely
help, like you said, balance
things out. So I love seeing this chart. And
yeah, this is a really great visual and such a great tool for us to use with our clients too, to show that, hey, this spike over the last 3 months, it's not doom and gloom.
No.
Yeah, I mean, I got into the business roughly about 20 years ago. Rates were in the 5s and 6s. When you started seeing things in the 4s, it was like an amazing.
It was like, what is this?
So
yeah.
It's like, oh, it's below 5. And like on a 30-year fix, that was a big deal. So the context, I think, is super important. Even as an agent, I think it's really important to share this with the buyer, especially one who's getting discouraged at the end of their rope, and thinking of bowing out. So hopefully this is useful. This is really what my update was focused on. I just wanted to talk into give you a little more context as far as interest rates are concerned. And I will quickly plug Own Home Loans. Just very quickly, if you want to work with a lender that has a great reputation and cares about your reputation as an agent, please give us a shot. We'd love to try to win your business. And we are still offering our $600 appraisal credit on purchases through the end of April. And I will quickly share some contact information. But I appreciate you guys having me, and hopefully you got something out of that.
Yeah, so much out of it. And one request, would you be able to send Paul and I a copy of these slides? We're getting some agents that are wanting to have these, so we'll embed them in our recap email on Friday, if you don't mind sharing that.
No, absolutely. Happy to share.
Great. Thank you so much.
And then another, I hope all of our agents appreciate having you come on and share this, because this is what we do. I mean, this knowing what's going on in the market is so important when you're consulting with your buyers and your sellers, so we can help predict what the future is, because that's what everybody asks. You know, are we at the top? They always want to know what's going on. But I think more important than are we at the top of the market or any of that, what is the cost to own a home today versus what was the cost to purchase a home 2 months ago, and what's that cost going to be in 3 months from now? And we can't really predict with a lot of certainty on the cost of the actual house, but we have lots of signs out there of what's going on with interest rates, and really interest rates, if people are financing it, is more important than the price of the home as far as the monthly costs. So, and encouraging people to make decisions today and not stay on the fence, oh my gosh, you know, maybe the prices will come down. Are you able to put together a simple chart for people, or simple graphs showing people, look, if you had been able to buy that $500,000 home 2 months ago at 3% or 3.5% versus 4.7, and we're moving towards 5.5, what the cost of that money looks like and what their loan will look like? Are you able to put something like that together to help an agent encourage their buyer to...
It's maybe on the fence.
Yeah, to not say, oh, I'm going to wait
Yeah,
and see,
and
but
we
keep
do that
moving
actually
forward.
Relatively often. We get those requests, so we do create those charts for our clients so they can kind of see, you know, we let them know we can't predict the future, but based on the way things are going, you know, here's what that house purchase may look like later on. And of course, in Colorado, you know, the prices have just kind of nonstop just been going up. So, you know, taking that into account, rising rates, yeah, we absolutely can put something like that together.
Awesome.
Very cool.
Appreciate it. Any questions that we have from
I
Amir?
don't think so. Just a lot of thanks, Amir. Great information. People talking about the interest rates when they first bought their houses, 13, 16, 18%. Do we think with rates rising, will home prices start to stabilize? Scott, I'm actually going to answer that question in our stats presentation. So yeah, we'll definitely touch upon that. And yeah, I think just other requests for getting copies of these slides, Amir, and that
We'll
seems
get that
to be
out to
it.
them.
So
Happy to share.
thank
Thank
you
you.
so much
All
for
right.
that
Have a great week,
information.
rest of the week,
Thanks,
and
Amir.
yeah, I'll get those slides over to you.
Thank you.
Very valuable. Really
Yeah.
appreciate it.
Awesome.
Thanks, guys. Bye-bye.
I always learn something every single time.
That was a great
Multiple
update.
things every single time he
Yeah.
comes on.
I mean, 20 to 25% in just a few months.
Yeah.
But yeah, all in context.
Yes.
So this is not panic. It's still amazing rates, but not as amazing as they once were.
Yeah, exactly. And I think we're going to go ahead and jump straight to the statistics, and then we'll come back to our BrokerBay demo, just because I think we have some questions that kind of came up
We can piggyback.
that we can piggyback on.
Okay.
So let's talk about the March statistics. I've got a couple slides just for you guys to visually look at some of the things that I'm going to be talking about. The main ones that we saw were active listings were up 81% compared to February. February's numbers were so low.
It was so bad. It was
so
so
that
bad.
percentage seems really high, but it's because February was so low. So we had about 1,000 listings at the end of the month that were available in March compared to February. So March ended with 2,200 listings. February ended with 1,200. So it was a very, very nice relief to have these extra housing units on the market.
But we have a long ways to go.
We have a long ways to go. So historically, we typically see active listings increase between February and March by about 6%. So we really welcomed that 81% increase. Our list to close price now is currently 106%. So if you have a buyer that's offering on a property, they need to be offering, according to this average, 6% over the listing price to actually get the property. It was 104% in February, so we saw a steady 2% increase on that list to close price. Our median days are really holding, median days on the market are holding at 4. Average days are 11 in the MLS, but 4 is all it's taken to get homes under contract right now. So if you have a listing that's sitting on the market 8-10 days, there's something wrong.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. So our average close price for the month of March was $705,000. That was
Average.
a 9% increase between February and March. So when you piggyback a 9% increase in prices with an increase in interest rates, that estimated monthly payment that Amir is talking about, that's 20 to 25% higher now than it was 3 months ago, you haven't even factored in market appreciation. So prices virtually were up $58,000 in a 1 month period of time. Our detached average close price is $797,000. Our attached single family homes are at $495,000. You can go ahead and kick to that next slide, which just kind of shows the prices for everybody to visualize. Right now, we have less than 1 month's worth of inventory in all price ranges, with the exception of $1 million+ condos. Anything that's a condo, townhome, attached, that's over $1 million, it's sitting on the market about a month and a half. We have a month and a half of inventory in that price bracket. Everything else is literally half a month of inventory. So if you have a buyer looking for a $500,000, $600,000, $700,000, $300,000 house, they're still moving really, really quickly. The next couple of charts, I'm not going to really go through the numbers on these. I just really wanted to bring to your attention, look at these reports every single month. They come out within a couple of days of the month, and they have such valuable information that you guys can use with your clients. Whether you're working with a buyer or whether you're working with a seller that's going to be listing their house, you can really compare different years and different segments of the market. DMAR breaks down 4 different market segments. 300,000 to 499, 500,000 to 749, 750 to 999, and 1 million and more. So if you have a client that is looking to list a house and you want a really good snapshot of what's actually going on in their pricing segment, you can really, really dive deep into these numbers. And then you can obviously compare last month, last year, and previous years. So I have just a couple quotes that I want to read, and then we'll answer some questions. But there were some things that came out in the DMAR expert opinion page, and I thought that they were really, really powerful and kind of give us an idea of where the market's headed in the next couple of weeks and months even. So while we currently sit at 20% appreciation compared to last year,
20%.
20% so far this
20%
year.
appreciation and 20% increase in interest rates.
More inventory at the end of March is just a glimpse of what we can expect to see throughout the spring and summer season. That's a positive. While waiting may create more options, it does not guarantee more value. Last month alone, average sales prices increased 9%. That's a $58,000 increase in 1 month. That's more than some people make in an entire year. So while you take your foot off the gas going 90 miles an hour, you're still moving forward, just not as fast. The decreased speed will be felt in the coming months, creating the allure of more balance, while the start line, also known as your listing price, has been elevated to levels at rapid speed. So when we start to talk about balance and more inventory, we're still going really, really fast. So as things start to slow, remember, we're going from 90 to 75, not 90 to 0.
Well, and what we were saying, even a year ago, when it felt like it was tempering, we were going from boiling to simmering.
Yeah.
It's still extremely hot, and it'll still cook pasta.
Yes.
It's just going from boiling to simmering. It is not going from boiling to freezing. So anyone who's saying, I'm going to wait for things to cool down,
you just missed out on 9% increase in prices, $58,000. You can't make that up.
and if you're financing, you just had a 20% increase, and we're going to see more increase in interest rates. I mean, we all watch the news. We all know that inflation is taking hold, and the only way for them to temper that inflation is to increase interest rates. And so we have not seen the end of that by any means. They just started increasing interest rates.
Yeah. So with that being said, the dramatic escalations in prices of expensive homes may intimidate some buyers, leaving them feeling that the market is reaching a peak. So be prepared that that is going to be an objection in the coming weeks and months. And they may decide to pause their search in hopes that prices will stabilize. But sellers need to stay grounded on their pricing, as buyers can sense when a house is priced too high, even in this hypercharged market. We're seeing sellers getting carried away with the pricing frenzy, and they're losing out. I do have a couple of agents, equity agents,
that's happening right now.
I've talked to just in the last couple of days, 3 different ones. 2 of them had listings that came on the market prior to last weekend, and they didn't get any offers. So reevaluating pricing strategies and things like that. But it's been a while since we've heard of a listing lasting through an entire weekend without a single offer. Also had someone that showed her buyers, they were hesitant in writing an offer because the seller wanted everything imaginable, including no inspections, non-refundable earnest money, quick closing, and they said, hey, I'm going to pass. That agent found out that home didn't have any offers on it. They came in $10,000 less, no appraisal gap, the closing date they wanted, refundable earnest money, and I haven't heard if they got the property or not. But buyers are starting to feel like, hey, I'm not willing to do all these things the seller wants, and now the sellers are kind of having to get a little less aggressive.
Yeah, I don't want to say realistic.
Realistic is not the right word.
But yeah, maybe not. Yeah.
So yeah, be careful what you're asking for in your MLS broker remarks. It might actually turn a few people off if you're not careful. So those are our statistics.
Good stuff.
Yeah.
Good stuff.
So market.
Tough market. Still a tough market if you're a buyer.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Exactly. And we should probably look and see if
Any
there are
questions
any
on
questions.
that? Yeah.
So I think to answer Scott's question, yes, we're going to see things stabilize, but not in the sense of what you might anticipate, which is price reductions, values coming down. We're not going to be seeing any of that. It's still just a hypercharged market. We need a lot more inventory before we actually start to see anything significant. But not 20 offers on a property, maybe only 2 or 3. That's kind of nice. I think that's it.
All right.
Cool.
BrokerBay.
So BrokerBay. Yeah, I think a lot of you guys are on today because you want to learn a little bit about the BrokerBay Showing Service. And we don't have any slides, but I'm going to demo. I've got an actual account and a couple things that I set up yesterday for test purposes. So those of you that are not familiar, BrokerBay is a free showing service platform that is located in RA, Colorado. And I'll go to the Matrix tab real quick. No, go to the Connect tab. Sorry, guys, as we get me on the right page here. So BrokerBay was just launched throughout many brokerage firms. A lot of the large broker firms are going to beta test this first. Equity is one of those, and we launched the platform 2 weeks ago. So some of you have actually had an opportunity to play around. So how do you access BrokerBay? You're going to log into your RA Colorado Connect dashboard. There's a nice big blue BrokerBay icon, and when you click on that for the first time, it's going to have you set up account information, verify name, phone number, email address, and save a password. I've already done all that, so we're going to take you straight in to the actual dashboard. When you come into your dashboard, if you do have listings, they're going to auto-populate onto the left-hand side under the listing tab. If you have any buyers that you're showing and you've scheduled showings through BrokerBay properties, you're going to see those next to your listings. And then tasks will be things like showing appointments that need to be confirmed, listings that need to have showing instructions put in with them, and contacts you can put in additional. Maybe you have a team or a spouse that you work side by side. You guys can share data, share information under contacts. So in the upper right hand corner, you're going to see your photo, and when you go to the drop down, it's going to allow you to customize notifications, account settings, import lock boxes for your Sentry locks, and clear out notifications. The first thing we're going to do is we're going to take a look on the left hand side. There's a brokerage tab, and that's going to allow you to see all of your fellow equity agent listings if you're curious what properties or in the system with equity agents. Not all equity agents have adopted the BrokerBay platform and have showings information set up in there, but you'll at least be able to toggle through and take a look. So on your dashboard, everything is going to auto-populate directly from Matrix. You don't have to do any additional data entry. And I created a fake listing yesterday afternoon so that I could walk you through what this looks like. So when you come in for the first time and you have a new listing, you're going to click on it, and you're going to have to configure showing instructions because Matrix doesn't know how you want your sellers to be contacted. So click on showings, and then you're going to click on showing configuration, and then you can do all of your showing settings. So you can have minimum hours of notice, overnight notice required. Maybe you only want people in the property for 30 minutes at a time. You can do showing durations. Do you want to do multiple showings at a time or just single showings? You can put in special instructions, don't touch the dog, don't let the cat out, no showings after 5. You can note who you want to approve the showings in the center of your screen. The seller. Auto confirmation would maybe be for vacant listings that you don't need to contact anyone. They can just go ahead and schedule them immediately. Or perhaps you as the listing agent want to be the one to confirm the showings. Your lockbox access is a drop-down menu. I don't have my SentryLock lockboxes configured quite yet, but there is a SentryLock button, and you will click on SentryLock, and then you can add your lockboxes in. They have a really robust system with SentryLock, and it will actually allow one-day codes. It knows whether another agent has their SentryLock app. You can also take a photo of the location of your lockbox in the event that it's in a condominium complex and it's hanging on a stairwell railing. You can put information in there. The cool thing about the photo of the lockbox is it actually has a tool that allows you to circle in like red pen which lockbox is yours and draw arrows to it. So it makes it really easy to identify if there's, say, 12 lockboxes hanging on a railing. And then it allows you to toggle the different things you want those agents to do when they're at the property or before they leave or enter the property. Then you get down to manage listing contacts. Your information is always going to auto-populate in there, and you can enable whether you want to confirm or deny showings or you just want notifications when showings occur. You will add a contact by going to the right-hand corner, and that's where you can add in sellers, multiple sellers, tenants if it's tenant occupied. You can put in as many different people as you want. There's no maximum. And then it allows you to put in an email address to say whether you must get a phone call about this showing, whether they can send a text message, or whether emails are appropriate. And then based upon these settings, your client will actually have a portal of their own that they can go into and see showings. They can add them automatically to their calendar. It will sync with their calendar. If a showing time is changed or canceled, it will remove it automatically from their calendar, which is really, really cool. And then if you have the client that says, hey, I don't want to use the portal, just send me a text message when a showing occurs. The thing that I thought was really kind of nice is that all of the text messages come through from the same phone number in a text thread. So rather than receiving 30 different text messages that you have to scroll through, you can click on the one and it will give you an entire history of every text message that's come through on that property. So that's kind of handy. You can then go down to availability and restrictions. You can block out certain days of the week, certain times. It's actually really kind of cool on the weekly sheet. If you drag your mouse over the available slots and just scroll down, it will highlight all the boxes below it and restrict them. Or maybe you have a seller that's going to be in meetings at work every single day from 10 to 3, and they just want things to automatically be confirmed because they're not going to have their phone to confirm them. You can do auto confirmations, and any showing that comes in during that time period, they'll get a note, but it doesn't require that they respond. So pretty much, it's a very robust little system.
It's very robust.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's something new to learn.
Yes.
But this is a very nice system, yeah.
Yeah, it's very cool. So let's go back up to, Oh, and then you can turn on and off your showings at the top with the little buttons. So those of you that are using showing time that say, I don't want to change, I don't want to learn a new system, you don't have to use showing time, or you don't have to use BrokerBay. But if you want to give it a shot, you can turn your showings on and off whenever you please. I hate to touch upon this because I'm kind of hoping that we're past all of the COVID-19 waivers and restrictions, but they do have a COVID button so that if you need to have certain precautions with a client, a seller has certain things that they want you to do, they need a waiver signed, you can upload all these things into the system and it goes out with the showing requests and confirmations. So that's how you set up your showing configuration. Pretty easy. And then you just hit your save key and save button and it will save everything for you. And then I want to also show you how you schedule a showing. And then, oh, before I do that, you can edit your listing, you can create custom, this all just pulls straight from RE Colorado. You can note when the showings are going to start, when offers are due by, if there's a certain acceptance date and time that you guys are wanting to achieve. And then the other thing I'll show you really quick is at the top, it's feedback. If you click on feedback, you can create custom templates that go out to the showing agents, and it'll make a nice little list of all the feedback that you've gotten. So if you click feedback settings, you can see all the custom questions. You can create your own questions, additional comments, and it will tabulate all those feedback comments and send it through a nice little email. All right, so let's go back to our dashboard. And I'm going to show you two different ways that you can schedule showings. One is by typing the property address in the search bar at the top of the screen. I'll just have you circle that little area. The other, we're going to go into Matrix. And I'm going to show you this is probably the most common way that someone's going to book a showing. Underneath the photo is the little blue BrokerBay icon. And someone's going to click on that when it's your listing, or you as a buyer's agent will click on that when you have a buyer that wants to see a property. And it'll take you directly into the showing booking. It'll auto-populate with your contact information. You can state whether you want an email confirmation or a text message confirmation. You select the date and select the time. This is an actual property, so we're not going to book a showing, but it's this simple. I mean, literally click the date, click the time. If there's any restrictions, it'll let you know. And then in the right-hand side, you click book showing, and that's it. When we go back into the BrokerBay system, we're going to test out the mock property that I've put in. So we'll click on Desirable Lane, 123 Desirable Lane, click Book Showing. And then we have to find ourselves in the system. So let's type in Stacy Schuster. And I'm going to say that I want to show this property. It's a coming soon. So May, let's go to May 2nd. And my buyers want to get in at 11 o'clock. It looks like the agent is allowing 15, 30 minutes, 60 minutes. My people are fast. We're going to do a 30-minute window. And then I would really like to get a text message when that showing is set and confirmed. And I'm just going to hit book and confirm. And it lets me know all the information about the property and the showing request. And as soon as it's actually confirmed, I'll get an email back stating that it was confirmed. And that's it. Pretty simple.
Simple.
So if you guys have any questions about BrokerBay, feel free to go ahead and type those in the comment section below. I'll go through, maybe there's some questions just while I've been talking. But get in, play around in this portal. I've only shown you the basics of the system. It has so much that it can do. and you're going to be able to watch a full tutorial webinar on it. We've posted that on Facebook in the weekly update emails. We'll link that video again into the recap email. The service, the way it's set up, is free. Everything that I've shown you is included in your RE Colorado membership. If you want access to their call center where you can call in and talk to people directly, it's a $20, I believe, upgrade. And that will allow someone that your sellers can talk to directly. You can call in if you need something. But using the online I mean, we all book everything online. So I don't see the need to use the call center. On the BrokerBay desktop, there is a question mark on the upper right-hand corner that links directly into the BrokerBay help desk. Support@brokerbay.com is their direct email, and they are available 7 days a week. I believe it's 9 a.m. to 8 p.m. So
awesome.
I'm excited for you guys to try it, and then give us feedback on what you think. BrokerBay has been very, very apparent, or very straightforward with, if you guys have feedback, we know that this is in the beta launch, and we're going to try and do everything we can to make it as easy to use, intuitive, user-friendly. They have a mobile app you can download and do everything mobile. So yeah, I'm excited for you guys to try it out. I'll go through and look.
Check and see if there's any questions there. Yeah.
I'm also going to quickly second that they're open to feedback and making changes, and they've even said they're going to be rolling out new versions of this software in June or July. So yeah, that's how they improve these things. So don't be shy if you have feedback or if you want to see a feature added.
Yeah, like we said, this is still in the beta. We're getting to demo it, try it. And a big part of this was brought about because Showing Time got bought out by Zillow, I believe, and we kind of got tired of putting money in Zillow's pockets, who's our competitor. So this is not owned by a real estate company, and I'm not saying that Zillow is a bad thing. It's just another company, but why promote another company? We don't want to, nobody wants to help promote equity. No one wants to promote Remax, Coldwell Banker. We're all competitors. So Zillow is too. So why are we funding Zillow's business model?
And BrokerBay's goal is to be as robust, if not more robust, than Showing Time. So everything you can do in Showing Time, BrokerBay is going to try and match or beat. Their mobile app is going to be really, really helpful. So Sandra, no, there is no cost to the agents for BrokerBay unless you want the upgraded phone service. There will be an app for sellers to manage showings. The app is available now for download. Sellers do have their own portal. And does the buyer's agent need to have a BrokerBay account to book a showing? Yes. So you'll need to go into BrokerBay, set up your username and password. Even if you don't have a listing, that will grant you access to schedule showings on BrokerBay properties. And is there a way to book multiple showings at one time or plan a route for those showings? Yes, you're going to need to watch the webinar video. There's 20 minutes worth of scheduling multiple showings, mapping your route. You can put stops in to grab Starbucks coffee. It's really, really cool.
Yeah.
And then it will GPS you to each property. And if you see a property while you're driving, you can pull it up and schedule it right then and there along the route. So that's really cool. I think that's it.
Awesome.
Good questions, guys.
Good questions. Paul.
We'll send out those.
Oh, go ahead.
Oh, yes, I'm here. No.
Okay, you're up. You're up.
I'm up. I was going to quickly say we'll send out the links to those training videos too for BrokerBay and the recaps too. You don't have to search for them because they're pretty good.
Yeah, they're real good.
All right. Well, thank you for giving me the reins here. I'm going to share my screen with you guys. And thanks for joining me for the recurring segment of Did You Know with Paul Wyman. So this whole segment, there's so many tools and systems available to you guys as agents. So this segment is dedicated towards highlighting some features you might not be aware of. So I've got 3 or 4 items for you, depending on how time allows me to get through these. And the first piece that I want to share with you is our training how-tos section. You've heard us talk about this how-to section back here in Elevate, but we've made some updates. So if you're not familiar with the training how-to section, in Elevate, click on Training, and then visit this How-Tos tab. And quickly, for anyone who hasn't seen this, I doubt it's a very small percentage, but this is where you'll find all of your transactional training tools. So checklists for when you get a listing, checklists for when you have a buyer who wants to write an offer on a home. But The big piece I wanted to share today is that Stacy has updated all of our contract examples to the 2022 contracts. And she's even added a couple new items back here. So you'll see our usual 2022 interactive contract to buy and sell. And then we get into the new content. We've got an Exhibit A, contract to buy and sell residential section notes. I want to quickly highlight this one because in our interactive contract, there are those yellow annotations that pop up throughout the contract. And if you can't see those, you've got all of our notes right here. You can pull these two PDFs up side by side as you're referencing the interactive contract. So just wanted to quickly highlight, I know some of you do run into issues with those annotations in the interactive contract. There's notes right there in PDF form.
Nice. That's a good upgrade.
Good upgrade. The other quick items back here that I wanted to make you aware of, we have now a sample contract to buy and sell land contract. So in the event that you have to write an offer on a piece of land, don't panic. We have a sample for you to reference. Hopefully my internet loads here. But while it's loading, it's very similar to the interactive contract in that we've filled in the gaps for you, the blanks. We've checked the boxes. We've provided a guideline of the dates and deadlines that you'll want to throw in there. I wish I could show you, but it's not loading.
That's okay.
So I'll give that a couple minutes to load in the background. So the land contract, and then also Stacy has added an income residential contract to buy and sell as well. We're seeing a little bit more duplexes. You guys are writing offers on duplexes and things of that sort. So now if you come across a property, we do have a sample for income residential. And this applies towards rental properties as well. And yeah, those are the big items back here. And Stacy, is there anything that you wanted to address on those items that you've updated? Take a couple seconds there.
Yeah, I think just if you've downloaded any of these to your desktop or your computer, go back through and delete those because all of these are now the current contracts and they're dated with the 2022 dates. Even if it was an item or a document that didn't change, maybe our protocol or perception of how you fill something out did. So yeah, just go ahead and get a clean, fresh slate with all of your contracts by hopping in here and just downloading the new ones. But other than that, I think that was pretty much it.
Awesome. And thank you for doing that. I mean,
yeah,
the work
of course.
behind that was a big task to update those.
Yeah.
Good stuff. All right, so moving on to our second item, I wanted to talk about business plans. So how many of you actually have put a business plan together for your business? Yes, I know you're juggling a lot, but I think it's important to take about an hour or two and really think about your business plan. How many homes do you want to sell? How much money do you actually have to be making for this to work, to pay the bills? And did you know, equity, that's so cheesy. Thank you.
I love it.
But equity does have templated business plans to really get you to dive into thinking about where you want to take your business. So our business plans can be found in the Marketing Center. So if you click the Marketing tab here, and then from there, you're going to want to scroll all the way down to Planning. And the reason I'm taking the time to show you where to find this stuff is because there's so much content related to business planning back here. We're just going to focus on the business plan today, but there's new agent tools, there's checklists, there's accounting. And when you hop into the business plan section, again, there's several tiers here. You've got the success plan, that's what we're going to pull up in a second. There's a success plan calculator where you can manage money and how much you're spending and how much you're making. And then there's also a marketing action plan. So this is kind of a jam-packed did you know. Just be aware of those items. But the success plan, I wanted to pull this up and actually scroll through it so you can see just how detailed this business plan is. So this is, dedicate an hour, maybe even 2, towards going through this business plan. And it gives you just about everything you need to start plugging in numbers. So you'll see part 1, calculate all your costs.
Car gas went
And
up.
these are
Car gas went up.
yeah, lots of these might have gone up for you.
Yeah.
But these are interactive PDFs, so you can just type things in right there, you know, and really calculate your costs, get your monthly totals for how much you're paying, determine your annual costs of living, how much income do you really want to make, and you can put down your goal before you actually dissect it and take a look at, okay, how many transactions do I have to close to get to that income? Furthermore, how many leads? Yes, I want to close 20 transactions, but that's not 20 leads. That's probably more like 60 leads to make, you know, that to get you to that transaction count of 20 at the end of the year. So you can see this is pretty detailed stuff. Talks about taxes, making sure you're accounting, you know, a portion of your commissions to be applied towards taxes. And there's a couple other pieces I wanted to showcase. Yeah, calculating your brokerage costs. Of course, ours are very minimal here at Equity Colorado. No big splits. And I think that was pretty much it. I think the big one that I was trying to get to are that whole subject of how many actual leads do I need to be bringing in per month versus a transaction count. Those are two very different numbers. So take some time, you know, think about your business plan. Are you really staying on track and hitting your goals? And you'll never know unless you actually take the time to do this stuff. So,
I love you sharing that, Paul.
Comments?
No, I love you sharing that, Paul. And don't think you have to wait till December to be doing this. If you have not yet put together a business plan, whether you just started in the business or you've been in the business for 20 years, if you haven't put this year's business plan together,
Do it now.
do it now. It's just something they always say. No, if you put something in writing, if you put your goals in writing, you have a 60% greater chance of actually achieving those goals than if you didn't write it down at all. So this is just kind of the basics of, I need to know where I'm going, and if you don't fill everything out, at least know how much you're wanting to earn and what the take home is going to be and how many deals you need to do at the bare minimum. So I appreciate you bringing this up, Paul.
Of course, yeah. And the other note there is, me personally, when I look at everything on paper, that's when I get fired up, because we all have these goals that are deep in the recesses of our mind. But until you bring them to the forefront and actually look at it on paper, by doing this, it might motivate you to go do that open house or to make those 5 phone calls that you're hesitant to make today. So there's so many benefits to doing this. So yeah, business plans.
Nice.
Yeah. How are we doing on time? Do I have time for another quick one? I can maybe do one more.
I think that's it, Paul. Are we? What are we doing
I
this till?
think-
Will we go to 1:15 or 11:15?
Yeah. So we got.
Okay, we're good.
Yeah, we're good
We're
for
good.
one more.
Okay.
Let's do it.
I'll give you just one quick. This is a bonus kind of admin.
Bonus round.
But I always get. Sorry.
Bonus round.
Oh, bonus round. Yep, bonus round. So this one's quick. It's a little bit on the admin side, but I get the question pretty frequently. Is there a place where I can go to see how much money I have made so far this year? Or
Good one.
where can I pull up past transactions, maybe my direct deposit vouchers? Yes, there is a place. So did you know, in Elevate, when you click on the My Business tab here, mine doesn't look too exciting. I don't sell very many
Oh,
homes.
Paul.
Aw. But back here, Elevate puts together a really nice summary of your year-to-date sales volume, your income after the fees, the equity transaction fees have been deducted, and then a list. See, I've got some activity back there.
Yeah.
Your actual direct deposit vouchers, where you can pull up and see, the breakdown of your commissions.
No, that's
So
very
that's a quick
helpful.
one.
Very helpful.
Yeah, and this helps most people towards the end of the year when you're just trying to calculate up how well you did you achieve your goals, or when you're putting together your diamond circle smudger stuff and they're like, you need to outline all of your transactions.
Right there.
You can go click on every single deposit voucher, see every property address, every closing date. It's linked in there really, really nice and convenient. So great one, Paul.
Oh, thank you. And yes, you have a couple more days left to submit your taxes. So that's why,
Yes.
for all you procrastinators, myself included, your income is back there.
Perfect. Another great Did You Know segment. We always appreciate you putting the time and effort into designing that.
Well, thank you. Thanks for the opportunity to do so. And questions, anything I need to address after those?
I do not see any questions. If anyone has any
Awesome.
questions for Paul, please go ahead and type them in the comment section below, and I will keep an eye as we move on to our updates and announcements. Thanks, Paul.
Thanks, Paul.
Yeah, thanks, guys.
Hey,
Of course.
Paul, while you're in the app, can you pull up the admin fee? I'm going to switch, and I'll switch back over there and show that. But
Yeah.
Just
I'll pull that up.
updating again, we have sent out multiple emails, text messages, all that good stuff. But our $60 dock and storage fee, hopefully you all know, has gone up to $120, and it's now called the Brokerage Administration Fee, which I like much better. And I like the actual form a lot better. It says more and less. The dock storage fee was a little cumbersome and hard to explain, but this is just a broker administration fee. We have now been operating in Colorado since 2009. That's like 13 years or something like that?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
13 years, and this is the first increase. And actually, we actually had decreased it, because actually when I started the company, we were $5.49 a transaction, plus the dock storage fee, and then we actually went down to $4.99. So we have been $4.99 and $60 for the last 13 years. And Equity Corporate has been looking at raising this storage fee or the admin fee for the last year and a half, and we don't like raising fees. Nobody wants to raise fees. And this was not just, oh my gosh, inflation, we got to do it now. Literally, we've been talking about this for well over a year, and it was just time that we had to do it. I mean, we are paying more for leases. Again, this isn't even part of inflation, so this isn't even the last 2 months.
Operating
costs. Operating costs in the last 12 years for our leases, our employee, everything has gone up drastically. Our E&O insurance is like doubled in the last 3 years. So it's $60. We raised it $60, and it's not even a monthly fee. So it's only when you close a transaction is this $60, and it's not even to you. This is to your client. And I know some of you guys do pay this for your clients. Actually, about 60% of our agents, we have the stats, 60% of our agents pass it along to the client as we, have made this. This is how it's supposed to be done. But you have the right to pay for your client if you want. But 60% of you do pass it along to your clients. So if you did pay for it yourself, that's $60 increase. And well, geez, just the cost, the housing going up about 50%. I mean, the income increase for all of you has been amazing, and I love seeing what you guys are doing and how well you're doing. But yeah, this is $120 now. Brokerage admin fee, it's in effect. This form is updated on all of our contracts, CTM.loop. It's in the training center, so please be using this new fee. And this is only for transactions that started in April. So if you had a transaction back in March, or even sooner than that was under contract, this does not apply. This applies to transactions that started in April, that you signed up a new buyer and has a closing in April. And
so yeah, don't panic.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, I
have a closing next week, and I have the $60 dock fee on the settlement statement.
No, if it started prior to April, then it's still.
You will close all those out.
The other one. Yeah. So yeah. Did I miss anything?
I think you've got it. Yeah.
And then update on KV Core. So
just real quick.
Sorry. Going back. Here we are.
Yeah, D. Ellis says $120 is still less than other brokerages. No issue. Thank you, D. Great point. Yeah. Doug, I think we answered your question. If you signed a listing agreement on March 30th, you can go ahead and use that $60 dock storage fee that your seller signed. The $120 wouldn't apply until after April 1st. So you're okay with the current documents that you have. Katie, do you know what the other major real estate companies are charging for admin fees? It's generally been quite a bit higher than $120, but I don't know what they've recently raised to.
Yeah, we obviously do research and see what everyone else is doing. 250 seems to be the bare minimum for like that's like the bare minimum up to 600.
Yeah, I was going to say most of the companies that I know were $4.99, $4.50, $4.25 for transaction admin fees.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That we still run at $4.99 and offer as much as we can is really a testament to how efficient we are. I mean, truly, equity, corporate, the efficiencies of processing transactions and our efficiency. I mean, really, there's, the three of us, Stacy, myself, Paul, running a firm of, 300 agents in our tech center and doing 1,300 transactions. Yeah, we have to do it very efficiently, and we do.
But yeah, if your client asks you what are other brokerages charging, it's really between $250 and $600. So
yeah, and I was amazed to hear up to $600. I didn't know that they had increased that much, but yeah, $250 to $600 is typical.
Yeah, and then Dominique, yes, you do still have the option of paying the fee rather than passing it on to the client.
Yeah.
Diane wants to know, why do we need this?
We I thought I just said to help run the company. And literally at $4.99 only and $60, we're going backwards. We can't continue to pay our staff, our employees, our E&O insurance, and provide the service that we provide.
And I think that was part of the name change to Brokerage Administrative Fee because doc storage, the Brokerage Administrative Fee does encompass a few other things, and it's outlined on that form because, as Diane made clear in her comments, she can pull her own records from her own files or the title company. It doesn't just have to do with record keeping anymore. There's a lot more operation behind the scenes.
Truly helps
run the
operations. Yeah, and like I said, the cost of just our employees, leases, E&O, not to mention our investment in KV Core, which I'll give a quick update, and just continue to bring you guys great service. Yeah, it's the bare minimum I think that we can do, and I'm not looking at raising any other fees. I mean, we have our monthly, and I know that, people don't like bills. But when you make a nice commission, that's if you're going to pay it, and hopefully you pass that along to your client. But if you do pay it, you make a huge commission. Hopefully that extra $60 is not going to be a crunch.
Yeah, and thanks for these questions.
Yeah,
and
they're
thanks
great
for
questions.
all the support to you guys.
And it does outline it on that form when you have that conversation with your client. Maybe that's what you're getting at, Diane. What do I tell the client when I'm passing it on?
Yeah, if we go back to your form. Where'd you go with your form, Paul?
You want me to share that again?
Yeah, share it real quick just so we can
there
see
we go.
what the cost.
So
covers.
instead of just saying storing it says transaction doc storage and disaster recovery strives to provide the safest, most secure and secure. Yes, you might be able to store it, but is it hyper secure? I mean, we all know cyber is, security is utmost. Transaction processing technology, it's just our back end and how we process transactions. Again, this is how the company runs, and being able to continue to do that. And then funds processing and distribution, that's just how we move funds around, pay people, pay clients, get their money to them, get your commissions to you. It's a quick form and easy to go over with people.
Yep.
Good questions. Any other questions on that?
I think that's it. 120 is well worth it. Thank you guys. Thanks, Denise.
Thanks. Of course, we don't like raising fees.
No,
one likes
we don't
raising
want
fees.
to do it, but
Yeah, especially when everyone else is raising fees. And that's why we've been trying not to do it for well over a year. We've been talking about this, and we got to keep delivering you guys great services at a fair price, and so we had to end up doing it. KV Core, still in progress. We had the quick demo here recently. It was really a high-level, quick overview that for some it was beneficial and some it was like, oh my gosh, I'm not quite sure what all this is.
I think that's what the majority of you
said. I think I was kind of in the middle there going, oh, I really want to get more into this. So still looking at, I guess, late June. They're saying no later than July 1st. Fingers crossed. We all know you order anything in today's world and
Takes a little while.
It takes a while. But we just talked with them a few days ago, and everything's on task. We, as a company, have gotten them everything they need. So they're not waiting on us. I mean, because they need links and Facebooks and Instagrams from all of our branches. We're talking 60-some offices. So we've got them all that stuff. Logos for every office. I mean, there's a lot to this. So everything's looking a go. I should have my own access, I'm hoping, like in the next week. And
Ooh,
once
I didn't even know that.
there's a few people that have access and they've been playing with it a little bit, and they're not the most computer savvy, so it's like we kind of have the wrong people playing with the back office. It's like, give me and Paul the back office. And so as soon as I get the back office, Paul and I are going to make some videos and shorter but more in depth and show you guys what this thing can do. And really, their training platform, I have seen the training platform. It's about 2 hours worth of like 40 different short videos that are amazing. But I even want to do some of our own stuff and start showing you guys what this is, because it is just knock your socks off amazing.
I know. You guys
I
are
just
so
want
excited
this.
about
I
it.
want it, and I
feel
want
like
it now.
Almost every support line phone call that has come in the last 2 weeks, we go through the question, and then the conversation ends with, so when's KV Core going to launch? So when's KV Core going to launch? Because you guys are just so excited to start implementing this in your business. So.
Trust me, so am I. I mean,
we are too.
we just had the owners meeting yesterday, and all of us are, going to Eric, who's the CEO, who talks with KV Core, going, when is this going to happen? When is it? What do we got? Can we push a little bit more? Can we do anything to make this quicker? So just me getting the back end access to the branch office, so Paul and I can make some videos and show you guys what's coming. Hopefully I'll have that very soon. I'll be excited about that.
Otherwise, mark your calendar into June, beginning of July for the official launch.
Yeah. And again, we're pushing. We're pushing.
Not shoving. Gently pushing.
Prodding them. So, yeah, that's all good stuff. In-person sales meeting next month. Yay, in person. Smedra.
Yeah.
As always, Wednesday, May 11th. Mark your calendars now. Don't schedule a closing that morning. Do whatever you can do.
Don't do an inspection.
No inspection, no excuse. We just love seeing you guys.
Come see us. We're going to do the hot breakfast buffet, which those of you who have done some of our in-person events know how comprehensive that is.
Yeah, I mean, that guy is awesome.
Yeah,
I mean, we have the pancakes and eggs and bacon.
And
lots
fruit.
of bacon.
Lots of bacon. And we've got an amazing speaker. So we've got Scott Peterson. You will know him from CAR Legal Counsel. He's on the legal hotline. He's going to talk about legal things that you need to know about in the industry. I had to book him an entire year out. So we have been waiting since last year to get him to come.
And we have newer agents going. Scott Peterson, they're still confused. I mean, still remember when Paul started working with us. CAR, NAR, Smedra, Aldora. You're like, ah.
Yeah, and we don't have to give you the whole bio of Scott other than come. Do not miss him. You don't get an opportunity to see him in person very often, especially for an individual brokerage versus a large NAR setting or Colorado Association of Realtor setting.
Yeah,
so.
and I know people are going to stream this. I don't.
We
it just doesn't come out great. So live is, I mean, once a quarter, live. The months in between, we're doing this.
Yeah. And if we can set up a way to record it, we will, but technology, you can't hear us, you can't see us, it just gets a little more complicated. So if you can be there in person, that's the best way to do it. And so many of you have said, I really want to network with other agents.
This is it.
This is your opportunity. Come early, say hi to everyone, network, share business cards, share ideas, brainstorm, talk about the market. This is the place to do it.
If COVID's still, sit in it's a huge room.
Yep.
Sit in the corner. I don't care.
Sit in the corner.
Whatever. Just come.
Do what it takes to make yourself
comfortable. Do what it takes for you to feel comfortable. We're there. We're going to be rocking it.
Yeah. As of right now, there's no indoor mask mandate, so there's no requirements to wear a mask. Of course, we'll still do hand sanitizer and all that stuff. So.
Yeah.
All right.
We'll
spray you down when you walk in.
What else we got?
We've got some people to celebrate.
Celebrate. Our peak producer graduates.
These guys just spent 12 weeks slaving away at building their business. Yeah.
Yes, they did, and they did a great job at that.
So proud of them.
Yeah.
You call them out, Paul, because you taught this course by yourself all the way through. You did an amazing job. I saw the emails. We participated, Stacy and I, but again, we're always trying to, all of us, grow and get better. Stacy and I are trying to grow and get better. Paul's trying to grow and get better. And how do we do that? By pushing ourselves. All the people that did peak producers, they're trying to grow and do better themselves. Stacy and I were just at Heroic, the launch. Brian Johnson, if you heard of Optimize, we were there last weekend.
Trying to be better.
Trying to be better. So yeah, we thought, oh my gosh, Paul's doing a lot. What's up with Todd and State? We're just all trying to rise up and put us all into places where it's
uncomfortable.
Yeah, it's growth.
Yeah,
it's
growth.
What's
the point? What's the point of all this if you're not pushing yourself? That's how I feel.
It's fun, and it's growing, and I'm loving watching you grow, Paul, and helping others. But yeah, you give the shout out to your peak producers.
Yeah, and I can't see the screen, so I'm going off memory of the people we have listed here.
We'll pull it up for
I'll
you.
pull it up.
Yeah, but each of these agents accomplished so much, and Buffini is hard. Anybody who's taken Peak Producers or 100 Days to Greatness, any of those courses, they're tough courses. They make you push yourself. And so yeah, Sarah Reifenberg, Emily Carlis, I'm going off memory here, Rachel Oliva, we've got Tamila Aspen, Karen Biesner, Monica Askew, Angela Yee. You guys crushed it, and I'm proud of each and every one of you and the things that you accomplished. So you're peak producers, and keep it going. Keep the momentum moving forward, and keep an eye out for more Buffini classes later this year, because everyone should take one.
Yeah, definitely.
Agreed.
All right.
Good job.
Good job.
I'll keep it short.
And good job to you, Paul, for doing an awesome job with them.
Thank you, guys. Appreciate it.
Well, this looks like a bigger month than last month, February.
It was sad.
Tough. That was a tough month.
But yeah, this is a big
So
group.
yeah, a big group, and huge shout outs to you guys. But I'm like zooming in on this one right here because
I don't think Mark Baker is on live today. Maybe he's lurking in the background or he's out showing houses. But
Mark Baker, I mean, you guys all are amazing. We have amazing months, and you guys kill it. But woo, top sales volume, 6,000,009 transactions for Mark Baker.
it is hard to juggle 9 transactions in 1 year, let alone in 1 month.
Yeah.
So kudos to Mark. Again, we're not trying to spotlight him because everybody is working so hard every day, whether you're working with 1 buyer, 10 buyers, 1 closing in a month, or 9 closings in a month.
But that's
an insane amount.
And what's amazing though, I mean, 9 is amazing. Listen to these next ones that are just as, oh my gosh, I'm tired. I killed it. It's a lot of work. Terry Wheeler, 5 transactions. Way to go, buddy. That is just 5 deals is a lot. 2. We outline all of you guys, highlight you that do 2 or more transactions because 2 in a month is a lot of work.
Juggle.
And here we have Mark at 9, Terry Wheeler at 5, Kristen Wiley, 5 transactions. Way to go. Justin Savoy, 4 transactions. He is having an amazing year. We're going to have him talk on one of our Monday talks because he's just taking his business to the next level. Najoud, congratulations, 4 transactions. Mary Decker, 3 transactions, and congratulations. Mary just bought a new home out in the country. Totally new lifestyle for her, so way to go. Denise Dixon, 3 transactions. Liliana, 3 transactions. Casey, 3 transactions. Sarah, 3. Ricky Lee, 3. Jonathan, 3. I mean, way to go. Tough month. You guys are killing it. That's a lot of work. The following All Power Pros: Anna, Sandra, Allison, Ernie, Caitlin, Lisa, Michael, Joyce, Kaylee.
Nice work, everybody.
Way to go. You guys brought it this last month.
Yeah, and a pat on the back to all of you, those of you that are not on this slide, but are working your tail off every single day.
Yeah, we see you too. Yes, we do.
We see you too.
Yeah, and hopefully when you see award winners, you're not, oh, they're talking about, I'm not. We want you to strive, and we want to recognize you. And yeah, this is a hard business. It's a hard business, and these names that we're showing you, some of them have been doing it a long time, and it's taken a long time to get to where they're at. And now they have amazing careers and sustained careers, and you just got to keep working. You got to keep working, and then all of a sudden you look and you go, oh my gosh,
How'd I get here?
how'd I get here? I'm with the Power Pros. I'm doing it. And we want to see you at the end of the year, 12 transactions, and you're at our big award celebration. So yeah, anyway.
Good job, everyone.
Good job.
Great job. Yeah, good job.
And then last, if you've got any
you have
new
any
or coming soon,
Yay!
post them now, put them on our Facebook group. Let us know what you got coming, what you just got listed, because we know it's going to be sold in a few days. So yeah, let us know about it.
All right, guys.
That's all I've got. You got anything extra, Paul?
Oh, I'm all good on this side. Great job, everybody. Good meeting.
Yeah.
All right. I'll check
Good
questions real quick. All right.
Thanks for tuning in.
Yeah, thank you guys so much for joining us. We really, really appreciate seeing you. Todd and I will be back on Monday with another Monday morning chat. So we'll see you then, and call us anytime you have questions or need advice. We're always here for you.
All right.
Have a great week.
Have a great rest of your week.
Take care, everybody. We'll see you soon. See you
ya.
Monday.
Bye. Thanks, Paul.
Bye.
Appreciate
See
your
ya,
help.
Paul.
Thanks, guys. Good job.